Before we move on to what you watched on Dynamite, again, not a full review, let's discuss one of the biggest stories of the week, one of the biggest mysteries of the week. Odyssey Jones. He was drafted to Raw 2 years in a row. You raved about him when you saw him in NXT, and then he vanished. He recently reappeared maybe 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Put him with the New Day. They're teasing Xavier Woods' turn. Next thing we hear, he's off the roster page on the website. And now word has come out that apparently he has been fired or released due to a domestic violence incident. And I'm not even sure when it happened, but they just found out about it.
Well, but I have a lot of questions. This is another one of those things where I have a lot of questions about, because there was no place reported that there was any police report or arrest record or whatever currently right now going on. Everybody said that nobody could find a police report or an arrest warrant or anything of that nature of a recent happening. Is that what you read?
I have not seen anything about a report or anything. The only thing I saw was someone sent me, CornyDriveThru@gmail.com, a bunch of tweets, I guess, from someone over the summer accusing him of being abusive to them. And like the Twitter account was something like, Odyssey Jones won't be forgiven, or we'll let the truth know.
Yes, that's it.
Something like that.
I saw the same thing on Twitter. Somebody had a screenshot of just a moving video of these constant tweets going, Odyssey Jones, must burn at the stake, or whatever the account was, over and over, that he assaulted someone. It was worded as if it was someone else, whatever, on vacation at some such and such time.
He's been on vacation for 2 years.
Well, but the point is, it would seem to be hard for someone as rigorous as they have been in the past about doing the background checks, doing the medical, doing all that stuff. I've talked to numerous guys who've had to go through paperwork and hoops and everything, that they would have missed something if there was any criminal action taken, or any law enforcement involvement, or anything legitimate that had been reported. And would you suddenly just take somebody's word for it if an incident happened months or years ago, enough to immediately scrub the guy in the middle of a fucking, just boom, he's gone? So how did they receive information on whatever he may or may not have done that made them decide to just say, fuck you, get out of here right now? But yet there's no evidence that any crime was reported or committed, or etc. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Well, again, we don't know what evidence there is or isn't, but we haven't seen anything public. The other thing is,
that's what I'm not saying we know the evidence. I'm just saying, if you could say he was arrested for this, or there's the mugshot, or here's the 911 call, usually in a situation like that, boom, you're gone. But if somebody doesn't produce those things, it's not like instantly, unless they have not been made public. That's why I say I have questions.
But again, we don't know what his relationship is with the office, and we don't know if there's been anything else in the past that has caused them, maybe even if not domestic violence, just to wonder about someone's character. Like, if there's one more thing, that's a problem. We don't know.
That's why I was wondering, why do we see him for 2 fucking years? Is there something wrong with this? That was when we first resurfaced. I said I thought there was something wrong with this fucking guy at this point, that we hadn't seen him. So, and apparently we're not going to see him again. He's gone on an Odyssey, Brian.
Well, again, various reports that they have no plans for him. Brian Alvarez flat out said he has been released. So that's the last report. And
Alvarez has his nose in everybody's business. So,
it's not exactly the same, and I'm not comparing it or comparing the people, but, the Velveteen Dream, when he got let go, and there were a whole bunch of things, and it was involving children or someone underage. I don't know exactly.
Well, hold on now. Let's not.
Someone underage.
Well, yes, it was like a teenager of 15, 16, but we're not talking about some fucking 6-year-old toddler. Let's not do that to the poor fella.
No, and I'm not
He's
saying
already
that.
Apologized many times. Well, you said children.
And then I corrected myself and said someone underage. But that was another story too, right? Where the accusations broke online on like Twitter, where someone just created an account and started saying stuff.
As I recall, and again, I didn't study him to write a book on him or anything, but as I recall, that was. But then there were numbers of incidents that kind of started snowballing around that same time with him and just his general demeanor at the point.
At this point in 2024, what does it do to your career if WWE cuts bait with you like this?
Well, it gives Tony Khan a chance to fucking snatch somebody away. I mean, here the problem is poor Odyssey Jones is the size of 3 of any of Tony's rest of his roster practically. So if he wants to be a wrestler at this point, it may be, go to the indies and work hard as others have done and, hope for another chance or reinvent yourself or whatever. But I don't believe he's a spring chicken, is he? Because he played football or whatever.
I don't have his age here, but...
Well, why not? God damn it. You're supposed to keep track. Don't you have that age list I sent you?
30 years old. 30 years old. 30 years old.
All righty, but he's also 400 pounds. So you got to think that ages your joints a little bit more.
According to Wikipedia, 6'5", 309.
Well, 6'5" and 309 is going to have to hit the goddamn indies.